What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing on this fine day?
Pat, I'm doing good. The Yankees didn't get swept, so that's always nice. And Aaron Judge setting himself up to break the record on the homestand. I was thinking about going to a few games, and I was going to hit you up if I were going to, but I thought about it, man. And this is kind of how I am with playoffs. This is why I like to pretty much, I enjoy watching games on TV more than I like being there. I love being at the stadium, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I would be able to appreciate it a little more watching on TV. But regardless, point is, Yankee Stadium, electric crowd. We're gonna see camera flashes left and right, like we're watching the Jeter doc all over again. Dude, I'm feeling pretty good. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that?
That's one thing I disagree with you on. Like right off rip, we're disagreeing. I love being in the crowd for insane moments. Like when we were in the crowd for the 2018 wildcard game and Judge hit that home run in the first inning, nothing beats that moment.
Dude, no, I'm
Being in
with
the
you.
crowd hits different.
I love being in the crowd, and the experience is definitely better than I guess watching at home. But in terms of like consuming the product that I'm watching, take the show for example. I feel like I'd be better prepared to do the show having watched the game on TV than being at the stadium. One
Sure.
more question about this. If you were to say the Yankees go on to win the World Series this fall, right? Would you rather? I mean, this might be a dumbass question. People might roast me for this. Would you rather be at every single postseason game in the stadium or watching from home every single one? I'm taking the latter,
Like
dude. I'd
every
rather be at
single
home.
game.
Yes, you either at in the ballpark for every single postseason game or watching on TV. Like you can't watch any on TV if you pick option one. You can't watch any in the stadium if you pick option two. I'm
But now
option two
here's
all
my
the way.
question. Here's my question. Are my life responsibilities like settled? Like, do
Take
I
like
have to worry about that?
yeah, no, don't worry about
Okay.
scheduling, like money or any crap like
Okay.
that, like
If I didn't have
transportation.
any outside life responsibilities to worry about, yes, I would rather be in person for every single game.
I don't think I would. I don't agree, man. It might be kind of biased towards Yanks Ave because the Yankees Avenue account on Instagram and Facebook kind of suffers when I'm, not at home. But I don't know, man. I think I'll do one per series. That's kind of usually our vibe that we like to go with.
Yeah.
One game per series. We'll go to ALDS game one, ALCS game one against the Astros, and then World Series game one. And then we'll be at the parade, bro. We're all wear this dope ass
We'll be
jacket.
live streaming at the parade. Just
We are.
saying.
We're live streaming hella
Um,
this fall.
but Dan, speaking about the parade, one guy who can lead the Yankees to a World Series parade is the newly father himself, I guess
I did
is a
do
way to
some
describe it.
research. He was a previous father, so he's like a father for the second
Two-time
time.
father.
Yeah.
Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson's back. He's kind of on his revenge tour, kind of like how Aaron Judge was last season, the year before. I don't remember what season you were kind of on that.
I made a lot of money off that revenge tour thing, so don't be throwing smack. Go on.
However, now we're kind of looking at Josh Donaldson when previously, before going on the paternity list or whatnot, we were kind of looking at him as a guy we don't really see as like a lock for the postseason lineup or whatever. Now, since coming back, we're seeing him have a 904 OPS, hitting 3 home runs. It seems like he's seeing the ball pretty well. Are we feeling Josh Donaldson is kind of like a lock for the postseason lineup? Because to be honest with you, like I'm kind of viewing him as a lock in my own head right now. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so as of right now, the way the roster is currently constructed, I would say yes, but it does really depend on who's coming back. Now, well, I don't guarantee this, and I'm kind of on the opposite end on what I think is going to happen with this. Let's just say Andrew Benintendi, Matt Carpenter aren't coming back. If that's the case, it really just comes down to DJ LeMahieu because right now, with him out, the infield alignment is, of course, Rizzo, Glaber, IKF, Donaldson. Now, when DJ comes back, Glaber, the way he's hitting, is obviously not going to move away from second, so he'd probably be playing third. Might end up coming down to Giancarlo Stanton. Are the Yankees willing to play him in left field? Now, the way I see it, and this is how I always see it with Stanton, you can, rest manage him all you want throughout the regular season, but come October, all guards are off because what are you really saving him for at that point? So if they're willing to put him in left field, you can put Donaldson or any of the 5 infielders at DH. And also when you consider the fact that if you don't play Stanton in left and if Benintendi and Carpenter aren't coming back, you're looking at a platoon of Oswaldo, Cabrera, and Aaron Hicks. So, and I love Cabrera, I do, but I mean, he had a nice day on Sunday. I had 3 hits, but he also, overall hasn't been too great with the bat. So, yeah, I mean, it's really going to come down to Stanton. Will they play him in left field? If they do that, then he'll play DH, which I'll be excited about. I mean, the way, like you said, the way Donaldson's looking lately has me really excited. This is a good problem to be talking about, that Donaldson's now in the fold as somebody you can, I mean, either way, he was probably going to end up starting with the current injuries, but the fact that it's a conversation like, oh, maybe we're going to try to get him in here, even if it's complicated, it's a good problem to have. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because I'm looking at Josh Donaldson, like a guy that we've kind of been ripping to shreds for the last couple of months, right? And now I'm kind of looking at him and it feels kind of weird because I'm asking myself, I'm like, am I starting to like Josh Donaldson? And it's kind of a weird thought because I feel like for so long we viewed him as like public enemy number one, but now I'm kind of viewing him as like a little bit of a spark plug. I like the energy that he's bringing, especially because it's like the energy that he brings can be annoying when the Yankees suck. But when the Yankees are winning, Josh Donaldson is the type of player that you want to see succeed, right?
Yeah, and you can attribute that to individually Donaldson himself. When he's not playing well, one, anything he does do, whether it's bat flipping on balls that land in the warning track or just starting B for no reason, that doesn't really fly. But
Yeah.
and two, when you're not playing that well, you're not going to be as confident as you are when you are playing well. So he's probably not doing as much as he usually does, anyways. But him playing well, we may get our first true taste of the Josh Donaldson experience. I'm pretty pumped for going into October. Like if he's hitting the ball the way he has been over the last 7 since coming back from paternity leave, like if you thought Donaldson was obnoxious already, we might get that even further. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited, man. I'm fully ready to be on the Donaldson train. This just shows how, like, listen, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm so vintage Yankee fan, and you might be the same way. I'm very much when it comes to the new guys. What have you done for me lately, right? And that's where Donaldson, if I'm him, dude, it's all out in front of you. Who cares what you did the last 5 months? If you play well from here on out, and more particularly in October, bro, all that gets washed away. You're going to be the man if you lead us to, or just have any sort of a postseason run where you're playing well. And we know the defense is going to be good. So good vibes surrounding Josh Donaldson for the first time pretty much since opening day when he walked off the Red Sox.
Yeah, no, 100%. And listen, Dan, we're kind of talking about guys who are succeeding, like Josh Donaldson, right? Let's switch the narrative a little bit. Talk about who's not necessarily succeeding. That's Clay Holmes. I would say over the last couple months, we haven't necessarily seen the dominant Clay Holmes that we saw in 2021 and also to start the 2022 season.
Without a doubt. He's been terrible, man.
I would say even since taking over the closer spot, we haven't necessarily seen like dominant Clay Holmes. You know what I mean?
I'll disagree there. I mean, the first, because he
became a very short period.
He became the official closer, beginning of May? I mean, May and June, he was pretty damn solid. It was until that Cincinnati game in July where things really
But for the most part, things have been downhill for Clay Holmes.
Since the first half,
And now, Dan, I'm kind of like a big Aroldis Chapman guy. I'm kind of looking at the Yankees closer situation, right? And I think it's very fair to say that the Yankees have a problem when it comes to who's closing out ball games, especially when it comes to the postseason, with Clay Holmes being super consistent, Chapman being inconsistent for the majority of the 2022 season. Let's say we get to postseason baseball, right? The date is October 21st. I don't even know if a postseason game. Let's say a postseason game is being played on October 21st.
That would be LCS game
closing. Who is closing that game for you? Because me personally, I'm going to roll this Chapman.
Well, with that scenario, you definitely go with whoever the hot hand is. So I'll just kind of take that as to who the hot hand is now. Jonathan Loaisiga, man, 1.61 ERA in 22 innings since the All-Star break. And kind of just from the eye test, he's been, I think, the best pitcher in the Yankee bullpen for a while now. There's also Scott Efros, who's expected to come off the IL this week. He's an option as well. I think ultimately, though, it'll kind of be some sort of like a closer by committee. I mean, you could factor in Wandy Peralta in that. Lou Trevino has been pretty damn good for us. Ron Marinaccio is in there as well. And, I won't even lie, Aroldis Chapman probably is too. I've been on record and I couldn't stand by it enough. I'm not losing another postseason because of Aroldis Chapman. I know we kind of disagree on that. And I have said this before. I defended him. It's not necessarily always his fault because, when you're in a one-run game, you're bound to, blow sometimes. But, yeah, I mean, Chapman's probably my 5th or 6th option. I think that's where we differ. My number one guy would definitely be Loaisiga. As of right now, come postseason, though, you definitely want to go with whoever the hot hand is. And that could be Aroldis Chapman, Pat. So that'll turn you into positive Patty real quick, I'm sure. What if he blows it, though, bro? Like, what are you going to do?
It's bad luck.
Like, you're going to have to come on here, dude. And I might just make you host the show yourself and just talk about it. Because what if you protest and you advocate for Aroldis Chapman to be put in the closer role and he ends up blowing another ALCS to Jose Altuve?
It's not a good look. It's for sure not a good look.
However, I'm not willing to risk that happening again. Absolutely not.
Here's my thing though, right? Listen, people rip me to shreds for this all the time. Like I look at Aroldis Chapman and I just see my closer. You know what I mean? Like he's our guy, bro. Like it's so weird because we haven't necessarily seen the track record from him as of late. But I don't know. I just want to see Aroldis Chapman close out a World Series for the Yankees and like just give like a nice stare down. I know it's insane to think about because we haven't seen that as of late, but I just want him to return to form. Maybe this is me just being like super positive Patty for no reason, but I want to see Aroldis Chapman succeed. And every Yankee fan should want to see him succeed as well, because when Chapman succeeds, the Yankees are in a great friggin' position.
But it's not like we necessarily, even with Clay Holmes struggling, we don't necessarily need him. I mean, our bullpen depth, like I've said on previous episodes, is still really good.
Nice.
No, if Chapman's doing well, sure, absolutely. And he looked semi-decent in his first game back, sure. The way you are, though, with Chapman, man, is very similar to how I am with Garrett Cole. Like, I want him to do well so freaking bad. The difference is, though, is that Cole is still pretty damn good. I mean, Aroldis Chapman, bro, like, we're kind of like wishing upon a star here for him to turn back to, 2018 Chapman. I've said this, Chapman's been good for us for a good majority of his Yankee tenure. At this point, though, man, it's not just a matter of him being inconsistent or not. It's more so the dude's, 35 years old. He's kind of washed, at least until I see otherwise. He's kind of washed. So I disagree with you on that, Pat.
Let us know in the comments. Do you think Aroldis Chapman has a little bit left in the tank for like one more good postseason run? Like, let's just be honest. What would make you feel more good inside? Aroldis Chapman stare down to end the World Series, or a little Clay Holmes,
Dude, okay, sure, but that doesn't. What I care about is there being even the opportunity to have a stare down with Chapman. I'm not sure that's even the case nowadays, bro.
I just want to see it. It's a pipe dream. Okay, we get that.
I have to wrap up this conversation with an apology. I feel like I've been saying bro quite frequently today. So might be number 4 on the bro counter combined, maybe approaching 10. We apologize, guys, and
I don't apologize.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm pulling a McGregor on this. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody, bro. Okay, bro.
You want to bite?
Yeah, eat your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bro. I apologize to nobody.
I don't do jelly.
Move on. Mm-hmm. Moving on here. Is that just peanut butter on bread?
I don't like jelly.
That's weird. No, that's weird. Moving on here. Frankie Montas. Dan, let's talk about Frankie Montas a little bit, because I'm kind of watching Frankie Montas on the mound, and I feel like he's flying under the radar a little bit. Like, he's low-key been one of the Yankees' worst trade deadline acquisitions of all time. And now he has a little shoulder injury, I guess. Still waiting on results from his MRI. However, we're looking at the Yankees postseason rotation. It's kind of shaping up to be as such. Cole, Nestor, Montas, Severino, Taillon. However, with Montas being so inconsistent as of late, and I guess not really reliable, same thing, would we consider Domingo Germán taking Montas' spot in the rotation? Because I'm going to be honest with you, Domingo Germán hasn't been bad.
He's been good.
He's
been
like
really
taking
good.
A spot in the rotation. He's kind of impressed me a little bit. So I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to him taking Montas' spot in the rotation.
Yeah, no, first let me say, Germán has done all he can do to force himself into this conversation. And it's honestly a legitimate conversation, not going to lie. What it comes down to for me with Montas is he's undergoing an MRI on shoulder soreness. Now, that's something he was dealing with when we acquired him. So I think like 3 weeks before the trade deadline, I'm not sure if he was IL'd or just missed a couple of starts because of it, but he had one start in between returning from the IL with the injury and becoming a Yankee. He's had a couple of good starts, like I'd say 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 outings total where he's been pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, 8 starts in the year. The other half of those have been pretty damn bad. 6.85 or 6.85 ERA or 6.35 ERA so far as a Yankee. Here's the thing. If he comes back, assuming he does come back, knock on wood, which we all should hope happens, and he looks good, end of story. He comes back and looks decent, I think, end of story. He comes back and just continues to get rocked, then yeah, I think it has to be Domingo Germán, or maybe you have the conversation of if you only need 4 starters, is it between Germán and Taillon? I think they would still probably go Taillon over Germán. That's not the way I would go. But yeah, man, I think at the very least, it's definitely possible. I'm not there just yet. It's really going to be determined by, 1, is he healthy? How does the MRI look? And 2, how does he come back? How does he look when he comes back from that injury?
Yeah, and listen, I don't know if you're kind of on the same boat as me as far as this goes, but I'm a little confused as far as like Frankie Montas' tenure as a Yankee. Like, I feel like it isn't real. Like, it just feels like it hasn't necessarily been. Maybe it's because he hasn't really like been any sort of impact to the Yankees rotation, especially like to the level that we thought he was going to be. But doesn't Frankie Montas as a Yankee, like, I kind of forget he's a Yankee sometimes, no?
Thing is, I believe it's probably because he hasn't had that moment. There's been while he has had solid starts.
He's kind of just been
he pitched
there.
Well. Right, yeah. And I think that could change come October. And here's the thing. When he's on, he's really damn good. So it's not like, you go into a start and you think, all right, it's an automatic L. No, because he has the upside of, like I said, he's had 3 or 4 pretty damn good starts with us. But yeah, man, I think he's just really going to need, and kind of a throwback to his first quote with the Yankees after that bad start in St. Louis. He said, it's not my first start that's going to matter. It'll be my last one. And ultimately, that's true. How you pitch in October, that's what your legacy, your reputation will be made from as a Yankee.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
And speaking of Frankie Montas, bro, one thing that I do want to bring up, I don't know if you're on the same wavelength as me as far as this goes. Does he not look a little bit like Gary Sanchez?
A little bit, I guess.
A little similar, right?
Maybe with the,
I think
the
it might be
shaved
the
beard,
haircut.
I guess a little bit.
Maybe.
Just a little bit.
Listen, bro, Gary with the beard looks kind of good.
Bro counter.
Just saying, bro. However, moving on to guys who are kind of just there, like Frankie Montas, right?
This guy's not just there, bro. He's like on the opposite end of being just. He's worse. Like sometimes when you're in this spot, like Aaron Hicks is, not to spoil it, you kind of wish you were just there blending in.
Aaron Hicks, Dan. Aaron Hicks. I'm kind of getting Joey Gallo vibes from Aaron Hicks, especially with this quote. He says, things are tough in New York. I don't have an answer. If they feel this isn't the right fit for me, that's their call. If I do go to another team, I know I can help them win. This is giving me major Joey Gallo vibes from that interview that he did right before being traded to the Dodgers, when he was kind of like, my time in New York just didn't work out. However,
Right.
I think I might be able to succeed elsewhere. And I think I respect it. I truly respect when a player is kind of able to acknowledge this, that, you know what, maybe their time as a Yankee just didn't work out, because it's a lot more respectable for me than to view it as like a Brett Gardner situation. I know I'm bringing up Brett Gardner, where it's like you can't accept the fact that you're just not good anymore, right? And
I'm not
going
to stand for the Gardner
just isn't
inclusion in this
working out
topic.
anymore.
That's
so
sure at the very end, but Gardner had a damn good Yankee career. Let's get that straight.
But he failed to accept the fact that he wasn't going to be a Yankee anymore, right? And I respect the fact that Aaron Hicks is viewing his Yankee career and being like, you know what, it's done. It didn't work out, and I'm ready to move elsewhere. So what do you think about this?
I think pretty much everything you just said was ridiculous. I'm not even going to get into it. But you mentioned
Joey Gallo. How is that ridiculous?
The bringing up Brett Gardner makes no sense
because
at all.
Because he refused to accept the fact.
Aaron Hicks and what he said.
He refused to accept the fact his Yankee career was over.
What do you mean he refused to accept it? Why? Because he was
sitting around waiting for the Yankees to offer him a contract that wasn't happening.
And okay, great. And what did he do? He had offers from other teams, including a rival Blue Jays,
which he should have accepted.
He wanted to retire a Yankee. I could totally understand that.
Which wasn't happening.
So he didn't sign. It's not like he went out inside the stadium at 161st Street and started protesting. He just gracefully went away. Have you heard any drama regarding Brett Gardner? No. So
no, but I'm saying it would have been more respectable if he.
That's ridiculous. I think the Brett Gardner conversation is ridiculous here. I love you. Anyways, you mentioned Joey Gallo. You know, he was brought up in the interview, right? So Hicks said to whoever this is, let me give this little shout out. Or Dan Martin, great job, New York Post.
Great name.
Hicks said to Martin, referring to Joey Gallo, Joey started to play better with the Dodgers. And I saw on a podcast that their manager, Dave Roberts, played a big part of that, with him wanting to get the most out of his players. Couple ways to go here. Where should I begin first? One, Joey Gallo. All right, I understand he had a couple homers off position players. And remember, this is my cousin, so I don't want to talk bad about him. But, dude, he's not even playing that much better with the Dodgers. With the Yankees, he had a 621 OPS, hit 159. You know what he's doing with the Dodgers so far in 32 games? Hitting 170 with a 686 OPS. So he's still been pretty damn bad.
What do you mean he's your cousin?
You know that. He's my cousin by not by blood. But all right, real quick. Well, long story short, when I was 15, when I worked at that White Oak Market, remember that? My cousin came in and was telling me how this new rookie on the Rangers, Joey Gallo, was actually a cousin of mine. And I was like, oh, word, that's nuts. And she explained like the lineage to me. It all made sense. And then when he got traded to me, or to the Yankees last July. Yeah, that sounds bad. When he got traded to the Yankees last July, she hit me up again. I was like, don't forget, that is your cousin. Explain lineage to me again. I don't feel like pulling up on Twitter right now, but dude, I'm dead ass. Not by blood, but we are cousins. Anyways, moving on. Why is he bringing up the Dodgers manager, Dave Roberts, saying he gets the most out of his players, and kind of just as if that's a reason why Gallo may have struggled here, like he didn't get his. Aaron Boone has done nothing but talk well about Aaron Hicks. That's the last thing Hicks should be complaining about is, like, can Hicks or can Boone get the most out of him? And Dave Roberts doesn't seem all that, like, I wouldn't exactly call him like Bobby Valentine or freaking Billy Martin. You know what I'm saying? I guess you don't know what I'm saying.
Hold the phone, Dan. You're a Boone. You've become a Boone sympathizer. I've kind of like started to realize this.
Well, yeah, only because.
Yeah, no, you have been.
I love Boone. I won't deny that at all. But it has.
Why? Like, what about Aaron Boone do you love?
okay, it's not a matter of loving Aaron Boone. One, I actually think he handles himself very well. He sticks up for the team often. And I actually support most of the moves he makes. Now, no manager is going to be perfect, but I think he's, especially since the trade deadline of last year, I think his sense of urgency has been much better than previous seasons. I think his bullpen management has been really damn good. The rest days haven't been nearly as bad. So he really kind of has totally flipped the coin with me over the last year or so. And I think he's a good representation of the franchise. And I think there is any problems with the 2022 team or just in general with this organization. I don't really think Boone is that. I don't think he's the issue.
Listen. I'm all for people having their opinions. If you like Aaron Boone, you like Aaron Boone. I'm not.
I do like
you.
Aaron Boone.
Let us know in the comments if you like Aaron Boone.
Speaking of comments,
we got question number 5 coming up. And that is, Dan, it's a viewer question. It went well last episode, so we're gonna bring it back this episode.
Probably gonna be an every week thing.
I think it will be. Because I actually really appreciate looking at the viewer comments here and kind of like picking one to answer. So let's pull up this one from Michael D. Aloia. I hope I pronounced
Sounds
it right.
about right.
Listen, I apologize, Michael. However, he asks, dream Yankees blunt rotation, including past players, doesn't matter how good or bad or how long they were on the team. Dan, you want
love this question?
Oh, wait, Dan. I think he means like.
No shit.
I thought you meant.
Oh, dude, this is staying in. Continue. I'm keeping this exact thing right here. Go on. All right.
No, originally when we picked it out, I thought it meant like pitching rotation.
All right. Well, this is all continuing because that was hilarious. Can I give you my dream blunt rotation?
Yeah,
we were gonna talk, dude. Please. All right. So I'm just gonna answer this by going through the roster. Now, did he give a certain amount, like a number? All right. Let's pick like 4 players. Right?
5. No, 5. Like a rotation.
5. Well, okay.
I thought it was a pitching rotation originally. So let's just.
I was gonna say we were one of those 5, but all right, I'll pick 5. I'm going through the Yankee roster. Cole, absolutely. I think it'd be hilarious to now younger kids. You can get out of this part. Don't do drugs, but Cole, I think would be hilarious. The Kermit the Frog voice while you're like ripping a blunt, I think would be hilarious. Garrett Cole, going through the roster. Jose Trevino, nah. Josh Donaldson, I think he's in there. So I have 2, Cole and Donaldson, and they might beef, which would be
it could be
sick.
passed though.
Oh wait, is that right?
No, it could be passed. It says
okay.
Including past
players.
players.
Scrap this whole thing. Let me start over here. Alex Rodriguez, favorite player of all time, because if I can meet him, why not? Right? He does follow me on Instagram, by the way. Aaron Judge, no doubt about it. I think I may just have to kind of go off the roster because I don't know off the top of my head who I'd want to pick. Anthony Rizzo would be pretty cool. I'm sorry. I'm just pretty much going to go off the roster plus A-Rod. Donaldson for 4. And then the 5th one, I think Nestor Cortez probably. So I got A-Rod, Judge, Cole, Donaldson, Nestor.
Are you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Cool. So mine, ready? Alex Rodriguez. I know we're
A-Rod guys. We're A-Rod guys.
Number 2, give me Jabba Chamberlain. I want to pick his brain about his Yankee career.
I love it. I love it.
3, give me Clint Frazier. I feel like that would be insane. I feel like that would be wild as hell.
I heard some more rumors about Clint Frazier over the weekend, dude, from like reliable sources. Dude, he was hated so much so that when he signed with the Cubs, like Cubs who had connections to the Yankees were like calling him up and saying, or Yankees who were calling up the Cubs were saying, like, be wary of this guy and his girlfriend, apparently. Like, he's
shout out to Clint Frazier.
And his girlfriend, because she's fucking smoking. Go on.
Moving on. Number 4. I think we're at number 4 now. I feel like I'd have to go Aaron Judge just because I feel like he'd kind of be like the mediator.
And it's like in this situation, you're given the opportunity to smoke with anybody, regardless of if they're entertaining or not. It's like, I want to meet Aaron Judge, and if this is my way to do so, then
And number 5, I'd go CC Sabathia. I think CC Sabathia would just be
that's a good one.
Just the fun-loving guy, like make everyone feel good in the room.
I kind of totally dropped the ball on this question, and I'm not ashamed of it because it was totally off the top.
You were
Remember, these are a surprise. Okay, why'd you have to call me out? I was gonna say it's a surprise question. Well, okay, I was no. I wasn't prepared for it. I did know ahead of time that this was gonna be the question we 99% chance picked. I didn't have my order set though, so it was still pretty much off the top. You might as well just ask me the question fresh.
Okay.
That's gonna do it for this episode, though. I'm pretty sure. I mean, what is that? 25 minutes in? Yeah, we're chilling. Little housekeeping here, some updates. I think just one. Finally, we are on Apple Podcasts. You guys have been asking for a while. Not really, but we were just on Spotify. Now we're on Apple as well. So that's awesome. The Yankees Avenue Show. Look it up on there. I'm pretty sure that's it for like the updates. We said it last week, but watch parties coming soon, dude. I'm so pumped for that. I think that's gonna be like the best piece of content we've ever done
I love this
together,
show.
including the show. Oh, me too, man. Me too. It makes my day better. It's why I wake up in the morning. I'm kind of bummed because we don't get to do it for another. It's Sunday when we're recording this. We can't record now till Thursday. So I'm gonna miss you, Pat. I'm gonna miss all you watching at home or listening in the car, wherever you're consuming this beautiful and amazing show that we put out every single week. And that's gonna do it. Drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment. We'll see you guys next time. Let's go, Yankees.